Hello again, and welcome to another one of our short little webinars. In this webinar, we're going to talk about troubleshooting snap order icons and installing them on customers' desktops. We're going to cover the three main or most common internet browsers: Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and Firefox. So let's go ahead and get started. Our goal here is to put a snap order icon, which is actually an executable file, which means that there's a little program behind it that will open the customer's quick order form. It'll actually use their username and password and log them in. Now, many of our customers don't use this feature. I mean, it saves them a few seconds to log in, but there's a very easy way to get around it. Obviously, a customer can come directly to inkmart.com and log in using a normal login with their username and password. Another very easy way for the customer to get a shortcut to inkmart.com and place an icon on their desktop would be to simply go to the URL and grab the icon and drag it to the desktop. That you can actually then even rename the icon, usually just by right-clicking, and call it whatever makes sense for that particular office. So let's go ahead and show you what the executable file is supposed to do. When this is installed on your desktop and we select it and then select Run, it will open up the customer's quick order form. And then the customer can toggle around to all their different quick order forms. Right? So that's how the program works. So now let's look at some of the troubleshooting issues that happens because of that executable file. I'm going to go ahead and log in as a customer. So I'm going to log in as a customer. Use username and password. And now that I'm logged in as a customer, I'm going to go ahead and click on my quick order form. And on any of my quick forms, I can scroll to the bottom and select Get Snap Order. So I'm going to select Get Snap Order, and what happened now is I got a warning. Now this is a very common situation. Any computer that probably has an antivirus software is going to throw up some sort of warning. And even down here, Microsoft threw up some sort of warning. So in this particular computer's case, I have an antivirus software from Avast. It doesn't matter if it's Norton or any other third-party antivirus software. It's saying, are you sure you want to download this file? Because it knows that there's an executable file. In other words, it knows there's a little bit of script or software in that file. And that's how viruses get on people's computer. They download stuff from the internet, and it'll contain a little code somewhere or some sort of trouble inside their programming, and that's how they have trouble. So that's what a virus software is supposed to do. So you have to tell your customers to allow the software to be installed. So in this case, I'm going to say, go ahead, allow it to be installed, and say OK. That's all I need to do. Now Microsoft then, on Internet Explorer, has the same kind of thing often, and we're going to talk about that also. But now that I told my antivirus to go ahead and allow it to install, all I have to do now is say save, and I would save the icon to my desktop, and it would place a new snap order icon on my desktop. Now another little window for Internet Explorer popped up, and I can just delete this. So now if I look on my desktop, there's the new snap order icon that we just installed. And it'll work and do what it's supposed to do and open this account. So let's get rid of this one. And let's go look at a different browser. Firefox. Let's log into Inkmart real quick. We'll log in using the username and password. And now that I'm logged in, I'll go to our quick order form. Scroll to the bottom again. and install the snap order icon on my desktop. Once again, my antivirus popped up and says, are you sure you want to do this? Remember that just about any software that you download, your antivirus or the internet browser or even Microsoft will question, are you sure that you want to download it? It doesn't matter what company it comes from. It doesn't matter if it's Facebook or any other brand. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to download that? That's its job. So we're going to say yes. Go ahead and allow it to download. Now, it would be very easy for us to probably bypass our software, our antivirus software. So you just have to understand what's happening. So it was easy enough for me just to tell it, my antivirus software, to go ahead and allow it to download. I could have gone to my antivirus software, which happens to be right here on my taskbar, and I could have put it on pause for an hour. I could have simply disabled my antivirus for a few minutes, installed the icon, and that little window would not have popped up. So now in Firefox, it's saying, do you want to open this executable file? So we'll say yes, save this file. Now in Firefox and in Google Chrome, they both work the same way. They have a little file folder for downloads, and that's just what it did. It downloaded that icon and the little executable file into its download folder, and that's where it sits right now. Now, to put it on my desktop, it's very easy. I can just grab the icon and drag it to my desktop. And that's how easy it is in Firefox and in Google Chrome. If I close this dialog box, it's just as easy for me to go find that by going up to Tools and finding the download file folder, and I'll find that file again, and I can just drag it to the desktop again. So that's how easy it works in Firefox. Now let's look at Google Chrome, and we'll log in. Use the username and password again. We'll go to the quick order form. Scroll to the bottom again. Select snap order. And once again, antivirus warning pops up. I'm going to say allow it to do its job. Allow it to download. And now, over here, in this corner, it has put that icon and that file. So in Google Chrome, I could grab this icon and drag it to my desktop again, and there it sits. Or in Google Chrome, I could go to their file folders, and just like in Firefox, go to their downloads, and I would find that file, and I could drag it to the desktop again. So that's how they work. So we covered Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and Firefox, and we downloaded icons from all three of them onto our desktop. Now, so let me show you what would happen when you send a customer an email. Through the system, you send them a snap order icon email. So this is what it looks like. It basically looks like this, and it'll have a link. And it'll, again, tell the customer to download this link. So I'll click on it. And the way the program is written, it's going to do a couple little things. So let me show you what happens. Again, our software is trying to ask if we want to make sure we can download it, so we'll just say OK. And in this case, it's saying Internet Explorer's download. It's saying, do you want to save it? And yes, we're going to want to save it as a file name directly to our desktop. And we can name it whatever we want, or we can let the default name be there and rename it later. And it'll save that snap order icon directly to our desktop. So that's exactly how it's going to work. Now, what's important for you to also understand is this snap order icon, the software behind it, is going to open automatically in Internet Explorer. So if the customer's favorite browser is Firefox or Chrome, it's still going to open it up in Internet Explorer. That's the way the software is written, because it's the most widely used browser. So we want to have the least amount of, trouble. So it's going to open it up in Internet Explorer. If the customer hates Internet Explorer and deleted it and hates Microsoft for whatever reason, then there may be a trouble and they might not be able to open up, and they might have to then reinstall Internet Explorer. But there again, that's going to be a very small percentage, and there's nothing we can do about that. So the executable file actually opens up in Internet Explorer no matter what their default browser is going to be. Okay? That's just how the software works. Now, let me show you a couple workarounds real fast. We talked about how if you have a antivirus software, which most computers have, we'll have Norton or Synaptics or some other brand, usually you can just disable it for a short moment. You can, in this case, we can disable this for an hour, or we can disable it for 10 minutes and allow the software to download. And that's what this is designed for. And so just about every program will have that same thing. So you can turn it off and get the job done, turn it back on, and everything works. And then the icon will be ready to work and do what it's supposed to do on the customer's desktop. In the event that the customer has very high security settings on their network or their computer. Now, I do not recommend that you even mess around with their internet security system or settings when they're in a network. But on most customers' desktops, it's very easy to fix. So you'd come over here to the control panel. And in the customer's control panel, you can click on Internet Options. And again, just like what we did with the antivirus, you can temporarily turn off the security settings. So you can come right to their security settings and lower the security settings and say apply. And the icon will install really easily also. So if they have a very high security settings, you can get a warning. Another thing you usually can happen has to do with their firewall. And if there's a network, leave this to our computer expert or their IT guy. But here again, they can actually just turn off their firewall for a short second, install the icon, and everything will work. And then they can restore everything back to its original settings, and everything will work just fine. You'd go back to your internet options, and you could restore the default settings, and everything will be set back where it's supposed to be, and you'll be good to go. So, just to recap, we covered how to install a snap order icon in all three main internet browsers: Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and Firefox. We explained that if there's an antivirus software, we have to quite often tell that antivirus software to allow the program to download, and usually that solves the problem. So until next time, thanks for watching.